Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just
Welcome to the party. 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 Welcome to the party.
Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to jump. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics.
Live right now. What up? What up? Wow, what the fuck happened? Just like
Yo,
mic check.
Yo,
We
what
got Discord in the building with us.
yes sir.
Winter After Dark vibes. Fahrenheit, if you don't get it, to play on Celsius. So this guy just filed fucking a bankruptcy. So, like I said, somebody fired like $250 million into paying those guys' debts down to stop them from liquidating the open market. So, who inherited their risk and like what made that kind of money worth it? Because you just threw money completely away. Once they're in bankruptcy, all that money is gone, and the person whoever funded that likely knew they couldn't, they couldn't have them liquidate in the open market, and they were going to burn $250 million. So who would have something big enough to make that worth doing to protect a bigger fucking problem? The person I could think of is Sailor. And if you look at his interview we had in the show, he talked about having access to credit still, but then bought 400 coins. That was nothing, compared to his 129,000 coins. But I think his coins, what does his coins work out to be at one point, like $4 billion? 250 million makes sense for a guy with that kind of shit on the line if he doesn't want your fucking liquidation to send the price anywhere near his liquidation. He's really the last thing out there, right? 3AC is, well, those guys are on the run. but when they get them, boy, they'll get them. And Celsius is gonna get an orderly liquidation. So the only big fish to fucking fry now is under 5K. So that would make it worth paying 200 million and throwing it away. Oh, that's what's going on. Major overheat situation.
Right.
One sec. Fahrenheit overheat. I got a infrared light. Somebody recommended me for the face tracking to work better. It does. It works really good, but it's fucking nuclear hot right now.
Oh.
You guys like the thumbnail for this one?
I do.
I thought this was pretty hot.
Oh.
I had to rep it. Why does my chair keep going down? Overhead. So, interesting day in the market. If you guys watched this morning show, we told you some things to pay attention to. I gotta have like the night vibes color scheme, but it's the same chart.
Right.
So BTC. Tell you guys to pay attention right here, right? Remember we circled that this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So as good a place as any you could bounce, it would be like around here, and that was it. And then your key level to watch is actually, oops. So this chart. He told you it was this 20,326, and he stopped right on it. So that above troll party is your line in the sand right now, right? You want to see him do some shit in here. What do we make this? I'm telling you, Tiki, color schemes are really difficult with this fucking fuchsia purple shit. So like that. So if he could do something in here, that would probably be great before he leaves. And you can pull back deeper than that, but that's just generally what you're looking for. Let's use white. So if he can recoil hard enough, otherwise, he can very much maintain this trend line. This is what he's got to violate. But if he gets through this, he has room to squeeze and possibly pull this recoil off here. So that would make this wave down here like, an accurate, duration for the counter structure to happen, just like this one was. This one was very accurate to the counter structure and the low. So I was kind of trying to forecast waves, from here to there, and that is about right. So if this is right, he should be possibly due to set up something. It might take a little bit longer. We'll go back on the troll party before he comes up, but if he stays above this level that we just put right here, this guy has room to go crazy. Right, that's what all you the gents wanted. something really direct. You're watching this guy. Told you the range you watch on him, 83 by 68. This guy's money too. That's a good shockwave that set up this range. Same thing with troll party, and watch for possibility of him doing something like BTC's projection, which I'd actually put on this chart also for ETH. I think I just turned it off. Oh, this is the wrong side chart. I hate that it does that.
Waiting if he's just moving shit around.
No, it just doesn't put the drawings on both sides, like for some stupid reason.
Oh, yeah. I like when it moves stuff on you. That's my personal favorite.
Delete stuff, move stuff, then save stuff.
Yep.
Sorry about that, guys. So that was our one projection we had too. We're still keeping in mind with ETH, right? ETH is doing a bottoming formation. This wave, it's not perfectly aligned, but a counter structure, pump up, a counter structure, a kind of grinding rise, and then, really just ground people out is kind of what's really a better formation for the market to have a sustained bottom. More than just recoil up and squeeze right away. It needs time to choke people out, like mentally, fully, not to, and just economically. Even if it doesn't keep going down more, this is just, there are people who are just burning through capital to stay alive now. So, something to keep in mind. What up, Diego Palma? Appreciate the bit, sir. Like that. I never gave it the Twitch lingo. Fuck it.
It's still bits.
I think I lost like 6% of my Turkish lira tips from this morning.
At least you got the hedge.
I got the hedge. I appreciate all my Turkish viewers. I feel for your economic system though. Here for the top NFT alpha to Kansas. We will look up some NFTs. We could check that out tonight. I mean, really, you know, for the most part, like I said, I think it looks like the NFT, you know, in ETH terms, bottom happened there in June. And now it's just a matter of kind of safeguarding your ass in USD. Because there's still definitely something in the market pretty risky. And that CPI number, that shit coming out at 9.1 and, you know, it's like 40-year highs now. And outside of the expectations to me that the Fed is likely got to fucking keep pressure on de-risking the system at, you know, unexpected levels also. So they had already said they forecasted possibly going to, you know, rate cycle rising all the way into the back end third quarter of 2023. That's a lot of fucking time to try and pop some more bubbles inside the market, you know. Yeah, so there's definitely a decent chance of, in USD terms, risk assets seeing a lot lower prices. But your NFT market, you know, could have put in lows in some of those guys, especially blue chips like CloneX, in terms of ETH. It's just a matter of whether or not, you know, one more person has to explode in the fucking institutional space and brick us through any fucking of these lows we're doing right now. Then you have to at least guard for that, you know, and short ETH according to how much, you know, ETH exposure you have or whatever you're in, Solana or whatever the fuck. God forbid you're in Solana.
Fact right there.
God forbid you're a Solana NFT whale.
I wonder if that thing's still on.
Huh?
I was wondering if Solana's still on.
And Solana is like, you know, shut down again for the fourth time this month. Solana's like as seen at Walmart. Ralph says, do you have thoughts on Gen Art NFTs such as art blocks? Man, I do not know what the fuck is going on in art blocks and glyphs, but those things are fucking immune to the bear market. They don't look particularly great, but there's some fucking like coordinated shit going on there, or there's just some kind of like aesthetic appeal that I don't know about. But have you guys seen these things?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah. You talking about autoglyphs, right? Fucking 270 fucking like 379 ETH, like crazy auto-generated shit like what you see up here. I don't know what's going on with this.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine why there's such price stability in this place, but it may be just it's very illiquid and a few people who are holding are just not fucking selling it, you know?
Right.
How many pieces is in this one? Let's see. 512 of them at 279 ETH. Dude, good God. What's the lowest you could have bought for 150 ETH? This is like the kind of thing like a ring of really wealthy people cook up a little scheme to pass money back and forth through their own token. This is that. I don't think this is... I'm just saying, guys, think about it. This is a very tiny marketplace. Listed supply, 10 of 512. This is a coordinated fucking scheme, dude. Nobody's selling shit here, right? No one's got a problem getting out of it either, apparently. There apparently is like a liquid floor to a thing that has no trading volume. This is probably a scam. But they clearly have something going, so yeah, I don't know, I can't shit on it. But it looks like a controlled market, man. I don't see anything that looks so stunning or anything, but I'm not to be an art critic. I'm saying it's just an AI spitting out fucking, you know, art, so I don't know what the deal is with those guys.
There's another one that makes no sense in my eyes is the squiggle one, right where your cursor is.
There's a couple of them like I just think there could, you know, there's a plan of how to roll them out there and have people in the market do things. You know, there's no utility, nothing. It's like, yeah, this is just some obscure banana on the wall type shit that's flying. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It reminds me of like a free port at an airport where you just like have like backhanded deals where you're able to just pass along value without getting tracked.
It's just like there's Director Vale told you guys about this, that there's just wealthy people who will sponsor an unknown artist and basically create his valuation in the marketplace, alter the perception and just trade his pieces around until they trade around those prices. That's market making 101, right? And it's a way for you then to like hide wealth inside of like art.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen too many generative art projects that I think look really great. I know I saw this shit with what's it, GNXS?
Oh, yeah, MGXS.
NGXS, with the guy who left Artifact. I guess he took like a multi-month vacation out of nowhere in the middle of a bear market, and that shit crashed.
Yep. Yeah, he dipped.
Holy fuck, right? That guy, that's a project he didn't plan to have this many people in that started to work, that he does not want the pressure of having to fucking give you a roadmap to.
Right, well, that's the thing. He said it was just an art project in the very beginning. And people were speculating on the ties to Artifact to, like, make it into something.
Yeah. No, but I'm telling you, he could feel the pressure.
Yeah, of
He
course.
could feel it right in his Web3 pussy. He couldn't take the pressure. He didn't say he's taking a vacation for a couple of weeks. That bitch said months. So, in the olden days, a comment like that put up in like the GitHubs and stuff like that. That's dev abandons a coin. That move. So I don't know if this is necessarily that because he said months. It sounds more like he's running from pressure. But in 2014, 15, 16 era, that move was used to dump a coin to the floor, accumulate the shit out of it, and then the dev would show back up like fucking a game time decision of an injured player that comes back on the field, and that coin would go flying. It was a great pump and dump scheme. So if he shows back up anywhere in the range of months, like that thing is gonna go flying. But it's an easy way to dump a fucking coin, and he's dropped it 60-something% over in a day.
Yeah, it's down there now. It's
So,
like 0.192, something like that.
how many of those were there total? 5,000, 10,000?
10,000.
So that's OG shit, but the dev abandons the coin. It's a move, like a OG shitcoin move to do, to dump a coin to the floor. They were always coming back. So I don't know, but if he pops up, you heard it here first. Dev abandons NFT token. Bunch of nonsense.
To me, they just look like unmixed paint.
Huh?
They just look like unmixed paint.
What does?
The MGXS stuff, like when you go to Home Depot, but before they mix the shit.
I'll be honest, the NGXS stuff looks like the alpha stage of what you'd be testing out to get ready to try and make a clone. And it just happens that people bought it thinking stuff. That doesn't look like a fully formed project to me. It's like the undone mold, unmolded clay of a human's shape that's not done yet.
Right. Yeah, 'cause some got little tiny heads, some got gigantic heads.
It just is like, what the fuck is that? Like, anyone here could have made it something that look like that and it just be shapeless. Like, who the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not an art critic.
I don't know. They got all kinds of weird traits in there too, like species and stuff like that.
Well, that might seems developed, so I don't know. Maybe there's something to it, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
I go best of breed if I'm gonna fuck with them.
Oh, yo, seen today? Did a little grocery shopping. Chicken breast, $10 a pound.
Oh damn! Yeah, same.
Yo, chicken's expensive. Yeah,
Chicken's going up like crazy right now.
Meat is going crazy. Director Bell was telling me like she's from Argentina, that down there like it's very super common for people to all get together and have barbecues and get meat, and their biggest export is beef, and that entire culture has changed to like meeting around soup because they can't afford the meat. In a country whose largest export is actually beef. So it's crazy.
It's like where they draw their like happiness from, like meeting with their family and like getting together, and then when that's taken away instantly, like, all right, back to the gutter, back to like.
Well, they're getting like a forced kind of like reduction in meat in their diet from the rate of inflation. And you think about it, like if you change the diet of a people on the level that it's happening down in that country, you can change like literally the physiology of the people, like the difference between having the proper food, between North and South Korea. You're gonna have a malnourished version of the population that like literally be deficient in iron and various things they got from meat because it was such a big part of their diet. That you're gonna literally have like a difference in your population if it sustains like that down there. It's like meaningful fucking like change, to Argentina.
Yeah.
Diego Palma said Venezuela happened the same, but with oil. Joe Maloma asked, didn't the largest chicken farm burn down a couple weeks ago? Apparently, like 1 million food distributors have burnt to the fucking ground all over the country across the last year, and it doesn't make much headlines. So, not exactly sure. There's a lot of conspiracies around that, but there's definitely some missing fucking things that look like there's a tactical sabotage on the food supply of the United States.
Yeah, man. What's crazy is those headlines pop, right? They pop one time and you never see anything about it again.
Nah, the amount of places that caught fire that are part of the food supply chain that we don't talk about is pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the state of complacency, like shit's not gonna go wrong.
It's just that the media doesn't make you focus on it. You don't focus on it. They make your thoughts for you,
Right.
That's why we talk about, we read the charts, not the news, because they're literally mind fucking people on levels. That's why we train you guys on objective thinking, so you don't fucking sit there and fucking take everybody at their word. You could listen to some fucking outlying weird character on TV tell you some crazy shit and just fall for it.
Absolutely. You gotta back check it, guard your thoughts, make sure it's actually right.
Dude, how cool did the shirt come out being exactly my colors?
Go ahead.
Dude, it's sick.
That fucking SWAT blew away the clone lens the other day.
That smoke makes the light disappear. It's pretty sick.
I like the hit. You saw the hit coming out of the bowl though. That's what I was trying to get for the shot. I couldn't do it. I couldn't time that.
No, it came out of the bowl and it blurred the whole light. The lights. Just black was pretty dope.
Oh, that was me blowing it. The bowl ones are the one. Okay, the quote, the swirl. That was cool. Sri Lanka's president ran away from the country to Maldives. And the guys in 3AC are on the run too. I guess a lot of people are on the run right now.
Yeah,
Nowhere to hide.
Sri Lanka's a mess.
What happened?
Sri Lanka's just a mess.
Markets are definitely.
Well, you got the thing with Sri Lanka, right? Their biggest moneymaker for the entire country is tourism. We're coming out of 2 years of Rona lockdowns. So there's just nothing there.
Yeah, we definitely got to pay attention to indexes where they're on the lows like this. Like I said, I think NFTs are good in terms of ETH, but we're not safe in dollars yet. With the DXY doing what the fuck he's doing.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Let's look at BAC. These guys are definitely some wash sale bullshit to generate some high ass sales right now. That doesn't look terribly bad that he's trying to round it right now. It's a bear flag if he doesn't pull off rotating this high. That's ETH prices. Your dollar prices though, don't look stable yet. So ETH prices look healthy, right? You can see that.
Yep.
That's dollar prices on him. But there's the 13th. This guy right now, if he can rotate this like small like flag he's got, it's a mile flag. You can see ETH pump on a couple of NFT projects, like we said, like monoliths and stuff like that. All those guys were in places that they're not too far from breaking ranges to pump in ETH. But it's a tricky trade when you have such pressure coming from the USD market.
Yeah. As you said, DXY is just putting hella pressure on it.
DXY is a monster. Look at this shit. So there's the angle we drew this morning and the bull flag we projected out, and he fucking did the bull flag and the angle, and he's still sustaining this trajectory. That is a mean uptrend if he fucking actually accelerates out of this, bro. Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna pop. It's probably gonna be Turkey.
It pairs with the
Look at the
Euro
look at the
USD.
fucking yen. I mean, the yen is crazy. We drew this guy out too, a while ago. But this is a nut structure. So I do think you're tracking this. This is insanity. The trajectory this is on. But wow, don't call tops, right?
Right.
So
Same with the Euro USD going the other way.
yeah, well, the euro, like I said, if he goes through parity, he's probably gonna go through it real hard. And I guarantee there's a lot of idiots looking for just a huge bounce on fucking one.
He's holding it.
They're people who are gonna buy this for like a big bounce. They're taking 5-6 cents off of this thing. It'll go through by 2 or 3 cents and rape them, dude. So like, yeah, it isn't coming off of it for shit. This is from this morning where we're looking at it on the CPI.
Yeah. It was at the high over there. Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah, it's 11. Yeah. The dollar goes through here, I'd watch it. It's not gonna just be like a little move. It'll probably be something pretty big. But this right here, if the dollar does crack this and you get that really like just big dollar strength everywhere, that's really bad for risk assets. So you do want to keep your eyes on this shit tonight. Apart from that, NFT Alpha aside, like I said, I don't think there's one blue chip in the marketplace, and I own them.
X asked, just arrived. Does anyone have the TLDR on his BTC analysis? I'm thinking this is a short-term bottom.
Oh.
Just watch the show.
Pay attention.
Go over that all the time. Like every day we have a macro. We already went over that early in the show too. So just replay the show from the beginning. You'll see stuff we talked about.
That's just for degens.
Yeah. But we give you information so you can make better choices. We don't try to tell you what to do. That's a big negative. And you can't widely distribute a good idea. You have to have a good idea on your own. So we give you the intel and hopefully help you train the thought process where you can use it so you can make a valuable choice, but not the other way around.
Oh, did you see the saga of Basie and Ryder Rips, what they were talking about?
Talk louder on that while you're doing it.
Did you hear about the saga of Ryder Rips and the Basie thing that's still going on?
No, what's the next story with Ryder?
Ryder got the attorney that represented Pepe to fight the Yuga Labs attorney, and they got some other big shot attorney. So this is like the battle of just insanely high level attorneys. Let me see if I can get the guys.
So what is the fight over?
Their Basie is suing Ryder for the using their likenesses and all that stuff. Let me find the exact thing.
Interesting.
I'm gonna drop it in the Discord.
Why can't everybody do art for the sake of doing art?
Right, exactly. They're just not gonna let him slide at all. That whole thing's gonna get real ugly. Yeah, so whoever this lawyer was, he fought the alt-right in the defense of Matt Fury's Pepe.
Interesting.
So, I thought that was weird. That saga is obviously very public.
RR is not going to win this battle and defamation. Strictly 3 sports things. Salutations, Roman numerals. I don't know. I think Ryder Rips, at the end of the day, he undermined his message when he put a sales pitch in the end of his documentary, and
Exactly.
The amount of fucking money he made distributing the fucking supposedly Nazi-inspired artwork undermines the point of like trying to get that shit out of the public. When people fucking really think something shouldn't be out there, they try to censor you, like fucking CloneX tried to do me. When you fucking sell somebody shit, you clearly fucking you can make money off of the triggering effect of what that shit really is about. Until he did, he made a ridiculous amount of money on it. It's not like he fucking fought racism in any way. He made them get so much more awareness than anybody can even fucking imagine.
Right.
Kind of works like that silly N-word pass thing that the clients went after me for. It's racially fueled satire. It literally plays on the exact thing that will make it be marketed by every idiot who doesn't think twice.
Right. The interesting thing that Ryder did with the Ryder Rips ones is he has no royalties on sales. So it was like once he got once they minted out, that was it. So he's not getting any royalties, and I'm wondering if that was like attacked to be like, look, I'm not making any money on the royalties of these images.
So I don't know. Selling initial sale price with no royalty equals fucking immune to fucking having profited on the picture. I don't get that. Is there a royalty?
No, I'm not. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not sure about that. But the point of like saying I'm not continuing to make royalties on the actual artwork. You know what I mean?
I mean, he made a sale on it. He has to make royalties before he crosses some other red line. I don't even know what the rule is on that. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just I just thought that was interesting. The 0 royalties. There's obviously some kind of reason behind that. Let's see.
What do you guys think? Does this guy look like he's shiny? I want to see some more art from you guys in the community art channel too. I haven't free drawn that guy from like a couple decades. It's scary to say.
It looks dope though.
Yeah, Silver Surface should be on top of it.
He's a little too butch, actually. He should be thinner.
He's Diesel.
He's Diesel.
The heavy eyes.
This is
eyes are pretty heavy.
This is Silver Surfer with a whole lot of growth hormone, and he's still got a little water. His neck is definitely this is like fucking like Thanos' neck. Yeah, I definitely was like, I can't fix this. I was like, I'll have to work with that guy. The skull always kill me. But yeah, I actually really like that bust. It came out pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's Diesel.
It's pretty jacked up. I was like, he still looks shiny enough to be past the Silver Surfer, so I'm fucking taking it. If I made him Iceman, that would just be unbelievable. We don't need to explore the reasons. We'll just leave it there. People hate my humor.
What's up with Tipothy? You alive?
Love.
I'm making sure.
Tipothy, is he alive? Is he drunk?
What's that?
I like anime art. Like TR Shapes inspired me to go fucking draw anime or some more comic stuff. I used to draw that in the very beginning, but I'm not drawing the stuff he draws. But I thought fucking I used to draw fucking Silver Surfer cells when I was a kid. I used to love doing that shit. That's where I learned to draw faces at. Those angles of faces is from comics.
Right.
But I'm not the greatest at drawing faces by any measure. Salty's been doing some faces.
Yeah. Yep. He's been joining those little workshops in that one server.
The Munko workshops?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that. It's good though, how those guys doing I think that's a good idea. Just take some time to draw something every day. I think it's a great idea.
That's how you get good, right? Do one thing a little bit every day.
Do it, yeah. Consistency over time with all things, of course. Check out Freehand Sketch by Trojan Mom. Burger's mom. That's pretty fucking crazy. See these dogs?
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's fucking awesome. Doing fur in pencil is definitely a specific skill set. to make it look like fur. I've always found that to be an amazing fucking thing to pull off. Very cool.
There's some talented people dropping stuff in that channel.
I'm telling you, people don't know how good they are at the stuff they got going on in here. Director Vale. She's the photographer with the whole angle design scheme on this picture here.
Check it out.
This is some famous artwork that she replicated on a giant piece of plyboard. It's pretty humongous. Yeah, I love it. Keep creating shit.
There you go.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
Artistic creativity is definitely good for the brain. 100% agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yo, Tiki, you're concrete, man. That's all artistic. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's like
creating anything.
living sculpture. I mean, you're like larger than life sculpture, you know, for the size of what the work projects he does is.
Yeah, man. And what's great is when I used to do that, I used to get lost in it and I'd be in the shop 18 hours and not even realize it. Just zoned out, just doing it. Didn't care, never complained. You know, it was great.
Yeah. It's just like, you just feel good. It's not like a chore. It's just, and it's a lot of discipline.
Strictly 3 Sports said, I just met Yuga Labs has too much money to lose. Never ever say something's too big to fail. Ever.
We've heard that before, haven't we?
I've heard that before. That's a terrible fucking saying in markets, bro. There's nothing that's too big to fail.
Enron, like so many of those you could name off the top of your head.
Literally, people thought it was like at a place that they would be a part of life forever. Yeah. Nobody ever thought Bear Stearns would die, bro. That's pretty funny. Yuga is definitely not the most stable enterprise I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is such a scam.
It's such a load of garbage. But, you know, they've got a specific niche right now. Funny, though.
Mm-hmm. Very.
That's funny. See, I think right now, if you looked at the way I looked at Bored Apes and CloneX, you know, dollars, everything pretty much looks alike. You know, speculating on, I don't know anybody else that I think has got any kind of partnerships that look as promising as CloneX and Nike does. You know, going forward, yeah, everybody kind of looks the same, and you're kind of going to display various pumps. But if you're holding for something that has like, you know, known utility, yeah, I think that guy's something. I saw there was some fighting going on today between Azuki's and Clones, and these guys, ever since the doxing of the guy involved in it, the guy who's like a couple rug pulls, there's a zealotry level in Azuki's that, like, you know, they're probably the outside dark horse project you could watch, because the people in this believe in this so vastly, and it's such a fucking ridiculous fan base. The guy who's involved is the only fucking fly in the ointment, and, you know, he's been put in a position to compromise himself, and they're all still there. So at least it's nice to hold ground. Now, this is in ETH prices, so holding in ETH prices and not bouncing equals fucking just bleeding in dollars. So that's kind of something, but he's interesting that he's held any kind of ground at all, and there seems some kind of fighting, you know, between Azuki's and Clones. Also interesting because they were supportive of each other in the past, and, you know, that's also, that ship has sailed. The toxicity in like every project has gone crazy. Huh?
Yeah, there was lots of weird, like, little shots being thrown on Twitter all day today. Little beefs, you know, like, it was just everywhere. Just people nipping at each other. You know, it was like, oh.
I mean, think about it. We've been out here talking about pods since they're fucking, like, you know, 0.4 ETH and shit like that, and, you know, about clones from the beginning of the year, and introduced fucking, you know, likely hundreds of clones, you know, to new owners, you know, through people who bought multiple in here. People have told me they bought 10 and 12 fucking clones, 16 clones. You know, we've got guys here that I know have consumed hundreds of pods, and, you know, literally help put floors into the marketplace, and you've got clones just attacking clones. I'm the first AR fucking production show, you know, CloneX show for Market TV, and there's just no unity across the whole fucking place, and then they're attacking other projects, and that's what you saw when they're attacking, you know, Goblin Town, because at the end of the day, yeah, we're bouncing the ETH prices, but most of these people aren't hedged. They got fucking crushed in dollars, you know, and they're acting like it. So the ETH bounce isn't really meaningless to any of these people.
Strictly Sports, if you think Animoca would let them lose that lawsuit. That's one of those weird things, right? Because it's not about the money behind it. It's about swaying a judge or a jury. And we've seen that happen with all kinds of cases.
Yeah, are the kind of guys that can kind of, when you look at the way Andreessen Horowitz is involved in there and the way they moved when they were going to launch the other side properties, they got like, overnight OpenSea to like allow ApeCoin to be a currency to buy with to kind of try and support it and take themselves off the books. They have they have an interest inside OpenSea so they can make that deal, and that's kind of the way they do business. So they're gonna try to pay their way through this, and bribe a judge. So
Right.
that's kind of what he's saying. Like they have the kind of money that they're gonna like pay to be right, and I agree that that is the kind of fucking thing you're dealing with Yuga Labs, Animoca, and Andreessen Horowitz being involved in it. But I guess it's like it's tactical on these guys going against him. If they can market what's going on here well, to get turn public opinion, then they have a chance. But yeah, he's not far off. They are a well-funded fucking machine for what they're doing. And they have that celebrity sway. Like the celebrities aren't saying a word about it. They kind of seem like they're like hapless bystanders with this MoonPay like liaison, putting them all inside of fucking like projects, and they don't even know if what the fuck they have.
Yeah, that whole thing is sketchy.
MoonPay is mad sketchy. Yeah.
That's super sketchy. We'll see. All that Basie Rider Rip stuff, that'll be all super public, so everybody will know about it. It'll be all over the place.
Very interesting.
Ralph asked if you had any thoughts on Goblin Town.
Goblin Town? Who asked that?
Ralph.
Do I have any thoughts on Goblin Town? I think Goblin Town has a kind of energy that reminds me of like Doge. It's your meme NFT project basically. As you got a bunch of guys walk around in general public talking like goblins and having spaces like goblins and literally won't come out of character everywhere you see them. That's just fucking this era's Doge.
It's such a good time. So funny.
It's just for fun, and there's actually some reasonable coding tech going on behind that token, which is kind of the same thing that was surprising about Doge. Doge was silly, but it wasn't totally garbage, and it really could function as a tipping coin of crypto, which is one reason that like Elon talks about it. It is really its best utility is to be the tipping coin of like Twitter. If you bought Twitter, that would probably be the currency of Twitter. Goblin Town it's just what it sounds like, I guess. Will it pump again? Probably. That's the kind of like energy you need to see them do that. Those guys are all in for the long haul playing that game. They're gonna play that to the fucking cows come home,
Right.
So yeah, that's Goblin Town. If they get enough money somehow to fucking create like fucking bodies and shit, I'll fucking shit myself. Who knows? Anything's possible, but it's the kind of project that they could stay alive longer than you think they should.
I mean, the thing is with Goblin Town, you got to think what their utility is going to be. With the clones, there's like many like avenues to travel down to build your business and like find value out of it. Right?
Let's look at Goblin Town. Goblin Town is showing a little life off the lows. Trust me. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's nothing I want to buy, but these motherfuckers aren't dead yet.
No.
They're holding the line, bro. They're holding the fucking line. No, I give them respect. I've seen this exact energy. Trust me, this can rotate hard. They could totally pump this again. But this little slow churn right here, yeah. That's your test pump. They recoil back up here and go to fucking up here, dude. They can run it above 4. And you likely, if you see him running, you probably see some strength in a couple other NFTs, and the market probably has some, bases out. This is the 13th. This is fucking full moon today, or super moon. Was the moon like 30% closer to the planet than ever, or some shit?
It's 30% bigger.
Or bigger? Sorry, not closer, right? That would be kind of catastrophic.
We'd be wobbling all over the place.
It could happen. Don't you guys know about lunar trading, but it's a thing.
It is. Definitely helps to explain a lot of today's behavior.
People,
Everywhere.
hey, it's some full moon madness is what you're fucking seeing. People are acting literally fucking crazy. So when you see that shit, you pay attention to where in the mark you are, and there's definitely been some erratic ass behavior. So like we talked about this morning, we'll pull these guys up. These are futures. This is a cleaner chart I have of it, right? Because I did futures over here actually. Let's see. this is a CPI, and the shockwave contains like the clone emotional fucking rage against everybody, right? So I told you. So this is it's dump bar off of their fucking bullshit, off CPI, bottomed out. And I have to see what he does here on this longer term trend line, perfectly tagging it and correcting off of it. So definitely worth paying attention to this right now. So this was the projection on this chart. Corrective structure, didn't give him credit for being able to go all the way down to the base of it, but track a trend line, and you can see a bull flag become a much larger corrective structure, a larger bull flag, without fucking doing anything, just watching geometry. So that guy looks good, and he's making a pattern down here that looks kind of better and better the longer he takes to rotate up and get back above, around this area, around 1280s or so. So, patience is a virtue. Pay attention to this. The DXY, did we say things about his ass too? Yeah. We'll watch that, and then VIX. We don't generally do all these on the nighttime. So the VIX, right? This is key. This is key tonight, how this opens. He maintains this channel. He continues this rotation on bull, right? We have a de-risking situation coming. He rotates down out of this. That's your first sign for more bullish action on the market. And to be honest with you, the way people got their heads in the shitter, they look like they're making any fucking money anywhere. So it is definitely possible. People are nowhere to be found, and that's when markets move. Full moon, crazy, raging fucking behavior. It's definitely an inflection point, across risk assets.
Key moment.
Huh?
I said no doubt.
No, what did the other guy say?
Oh, I said it's a key moment. Yeah.
I think it's timing. The other thing was too, if you remember, what is this thing doing? I was right. It's got half my drawings. That full moon. This is my timing line, but it's in this general area, mid-July. You've got that super moon basically right here now. So it's a great place for it to figure itself out. But I think you're just in. This is an area, this channel. If it gets there, that's definitely and rotates out of it. That definitely should be major alert on crypto and risk assets. But like I said, so then I think that's the CPI being out of control when we look at this thing, and they're talking about having the ability to fucking keep pushing rates and shit to fucking out here, September. That would be crazy.
That would be a long bottom, really time correct people.
It would be, as long as you keep raising the rates and you keep raising differentials between the U.S. dollar and things like Japan, you create greater and greater carry trades. And the U.S. being the strongest fucking economy out there, while everyone's waiting for a recovery in our demand, is burning. So the strong dollar market is basically a bad sign for the world. It means that the dollar is a safe haven.
You're just saying that to stretch that out. If they drag that out to September, that's right into the harvest season.
That's September. Yeah. That's September of next year, not this year.
Oh Jesus!
2023.
September 23.
Yeah. If they keep
you don't have to make it up the whole famine.
You'll be in a famine by Christmas, and if they keep doing this shit, though, you'll be in a fucking disaster.
Oh, no doubt.
So
Jesus.
That's the other part. If you're gonna get a really hyperinflationary scenario, they're gonna have to course correct out of fucking this dovish stance faster than they want to basically protect the population from fucking social upheaval. That's the bet I think Putin's making. Why and he's really targeting to pressure yields here and put the United States into a place where it can't finance itself.
Right. Jesus. Yeah.
We don't do scary shit at the night show though. The night show is a fun show. But that does look like a thing of beauty there. That bull flag looks too easy to see, right? So could this chop around for what looks like on that projection a year or two? Totally. See what the Fed does though. The Fed's gonna be who decides if they drive it through this thing or not.
For sure.
What time are we running? Dude, how are we running an hour? Well, I ran 13 minutes pre-roll.
On my side, it still shows 1 minute.
Yeah, I'm seeing 4.
That's when you refreshed last.
In the climax lows, I mean, yeah, you want to see anger rotate into depression. I think, we passed anger on the way down, and we saw the first major CloneX attacks on Goblin Town. People are way past fucking where am I making money right now. They're just pissed off, and there's other people fucking like putting confessions out there. So that's why I think it's possible we're in depression right now in that range we showed in BTC between Core Revival and Troll Party, and the formation we're showing you on ETH. There's the sentiment's not to look crazy. Nobody looks like they're fucking having a good time in the marketplace. But your builders are building, and see, there's some stuff coming to market now that people aren't paying attention to. So that's kind of a good part of the cycle to see who is actually building, who actually has forward visibility and plans out like a year or two right now. That's kind of where you make your smart buys in this time.
Memos
on memos and memos. Who's releasing shit? Who's doing new shit? To see CloneX put out 3D bodies and launch an entire fucking new economy in the middle of a bear market, that's fucking pretty wild, don't you think?
Yeah, that's working.
They just gave a bunch of people jobs that literally are about to lose their jobs in the real world. That's like context on how valuable that is, right? And having a clone that has gone down to like 10 stacks in dollars be a port of entry for this basically vehicle that creates an entire business around it, right? If I want to create a music video, I need an animation team. I don't have the time to learn Blender at the level to create animations and Unreal Engine and shit like that for various motion captures. I have to have a team of people do stuff. If I want to do a music video, all these things, I literally have created a business. I have the way to make a platform to do all kinds of shit. I can put out a clothing line, but I'm gonna have to fucking get people to help me fucking design and bring it to real life. Once I get my digital wearable figured out, and then say, okay, here's my body model, and this is what I think I could produce in the real world. I'm gonna create jobs. So it's pretty fucking phenomenal, right? They created that's value seems to have popped out of thin air, and now they can create products and all kind of crossover ideas are gonna emerge from that. It's very clever.
The way it creates that need, right? So it drives innovation. By having to open up all these new jobs or things that people haven't done before, you have to find workarounds and build these solutions around it. So it's creating all this.
And everyone's got to compete with everyone too. When you see a guy do something that's totally out of like your fucking you see one guy produce like this clone video that's got like 5 clones and this crazy camera pans, and you're like, wow, his like animation is like so much cleaner than what I could pull off. You either fucking try to catch up to him, or you go someplace that you have like an advantage. And so it does drive the competition does drive some interesting innovation. They'll get shit created that nobody knew was going to happen, which is the coolest part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. Yeah.
And that's something that within our own art community that is very doable. Like you see the talent, this latent talent that's sitting in there. We have the capacity to make like amazing shit. That's one of the things that I did learn from this is that more people are creative and capable than they give themselves credit for, and that's actually them believing that's what removes them from the playing field, which allows people who, in all honesty, do not have the greatest level of technical skill, but have brand position and lack of competition from the people who don't believe they could be that guy, allowing them to be the scarce point of value in the system. What we woke up with the community art channel is the fact that there's a whole lot more fucking talented motherfuckers in the eco sitting there on their ass who didn't know it. There are multiple verses. Any thoughts on which one will stand out and engage more users? Somnium, Decentraland, or Sandbox? Man, I gotta say right now at this point in the cycle, in the Metaverse cycle, Somnium Space, Decentraland, and Sandbox. I think Sandbox, Sandbox is backed by the same guys who back Other Deed. And Other Deed is going to absolutely kill Sandbox when it becomes functional. So I think they released that with the idea that Sandbox was probably close to end of life. Somnium Space has no fucking body in it. I think average users online is 1,100 or something ridiculous. So there's nobody in there. Decentraland, he's kind of he's the firstborn child. That's never the best kid. I think in time you're gonna have a settler in the space that's much more well funded, and at the end of the day, decentralized projects just don't match centralized funded projects. So there's probably something that comes along that actually challenges the the original pioneers, and you get your settler based kind of like world. So there's probably something yet to come, I think. Other deed becomes functional. If you remember, loot pods in an artifact have like multiple rooms, and loot pods become portals to other places, and you have no idea what those are going to be yet. Those are, could be years out before you see what attaches to every one of those doors, and at some point I think you end up with a much higher resolution world that you have like the kind of avatars you see people producing in the videos from clones with 3D files right now, and you have like Yuga Labs with like Bored Apes at that resolution, and you have worlds that match that kind of quality, and they're walking through shit like that, and you can end up with like Other Side and space pod environments through OnCyber and a few other worlds that coming together to create some kind of like much more advanced, better visual user experience. I don't think those three necessarily are the end all be all to kind of look at as what is the winner of the battle here. I think it's like leaving out AMD and Nvidia in a basket of semiconductors to talk about these three without putting Bored Apes virtual world or CloneX's into this. Don't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's also more attention to detail on the lower levels, not just like bust out some metaverse with some plots and then figuring out the plan before. It's kind of like, what do we want this specific thing to achieve, and how do we go about it?
Decentraland has got no fucking general direction.
That's
the problem. That's the problem with decentralized projects. It's like it's kind of just like a hulking mass. When you got money involved, it's like we need to make X. I'm going to pay you this for it. Do it in this amount of time. That gets shit done. That's just kind of like why you need some level of centralization to run a project. You really can't count on like the independent moving parts that are mostly comprised of morons to really outcompete like a central directed, well funded entity. So your ultimately best case like virtual world metaverse is going to be something like, look at the difference between like CloneX with Nike behind them and every other project out there. It's like night and day. That's likely the thing you're looking for is a blue chip metaverse. It's going to probably have like really ridiculous funding and be really obviously something different than everything else. Your only hope and prayer is it's not fucking Meta. It's not Zuckerberg. Anything but that shit. So that is the well-funded thing with half the fucking human population, and that you worry could become the fucking standard. But I think his brand is becoming so bad. It's kind of like natural contraceptive. That doesn't make sense. It takes you a while to get that one. You guys are so slow. I'm drinking away. I'm like drunk as fuck, and you guys are like slow as shit on my jokes. So we're at 1 hour and 8 minutes. And if you guys have any questions out there, there's about 70 of you. Appreciate you guys showing up in the late night. Wasn't sure we're gonna do this. Wanted to say give a shout out to my latest collector. Collection's starting to look pretty dope, I thought. What do you guys think? This is my foundation wall. Some sold in OpenSea, some sold over here, but I'm thinking it's starting to look pretty cool, right?
Yeah. The wall just gets better and better.
Got some requests for some sales from the show, so now everyone gets what the art of markets is about, huh? Took you guys long enough. It takes a minute to set these up. These guys listen to me set this show. It takes a hot minute to like get every look and feel going for every one of these things. It's a real pain in the ass. You have no idea. But it's definitely fun. I think these look cool, right? If you guys were around in Discord for why this was a fucking show, and you made money on it, you have to get this as a commemorative piece, bro. This is fucking like the most insane sentiment. It's like, wow, if that's here, holy fucking shit. I was like, how do I capture this crazy shit and call a fucking update at the same time? This is not an easy idea to come across. It's like, man. But yeah, this one is like, I don't know. That one just screamed fucking Pump City. So this show is called When I Come Around, which I figure most of you young people don't listen to Green Day. I hate saying it like that. That sounds terrible. But When I Come Around is a song from a group called Green Day, and Green Day is obviously a green dildo. So it was exactly that. It was a gap open and just fucking like just gas pedal move.
Yeah.
full of emotion, firing that thing through the ceiling. It is a salt fuel rally. So I definitely like this guy a lot, and of course I made him much cooler. So shout out to whoever collected this thing. Devil Inside.
Yeah, cool.
Demon Slayer is also a money one. Make art, have fun, bitches.
Real.
What's up?
Huh?
So that's what's up.
I got to agree with Strictly Sports. He says he hasn't played one decent blockchain game or Metaverse yet that I actually want to play for fun.
I saw what's his face. Some guys have like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat style fighting with their clones, their CloneXs, and I think when you can be your own character and go Ready Player Me and play a game right now, play an adventure game or a quest game that's got some kind of level of like quality to what people play from major studios, that's gonna be where it's at. All these AXS and these basically more complicated Ponzi's, aren't real blockchain games yet. You don't have any real blockchain games yet.
Yep. And a lot of them are just masks for DeFi, right? Like liquidity pools and all that kind of shit going on.
Exactly. AXS and all these guys are DeFi masks, right? They're not real blockchain games. They're disguised Ponzi schemes. You need something like Grand Theft, like Homeboy's talking about. If Grand Theft starts to do transactions, that's a real fucking real utility that who they are. I think if you start to see something like CloneX and Yuga Labs make fucking crossovers to Ready Player Me that allow them to start creating fighting games or quest games, like what you're seeing in Sandbox, but on this level, you'll see real shit layer, real games with real microtransactions that make sense, but you haven't seen a real blockchain game yet. Tell you, people, that's one thing about the internet. Like when the internet came along, as a big thing in 1999, everyone expected everything the internet became in the next 20 years to happen in the next few months.
Right.
And so they don't really give any real because we're not all developers, so they don't have realistic expectations of what it takes to actually go through each stage to roll out the next progression of things. There's a whole lot of experimental shit that's still rolling into the marketplace. They don't quite know how to get there just yet. Riot Games,
Definitely.
Anyways, we're at an hour and 13 minutes. I don't want to keep you guys too long. It's a pretty cool session. I'm chilling.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for coming to hang out. Hopefully you guys got something to pay attention to things where we are. Like I said, if you missed the beginning of the video, watch and take a look where we talked about we are with regards to BTC critical level that we talked about from early this morning show. And then, what to watch on ETH and stuff like that. So the market, like I said, for the MTs looks healthy in ETH terms. It's risk assets and dollars that are the big worry with a strong DXY. The DXY trajectory looks retarded, but keep track of the angle we have on that rising wedge. If it doesn't fucking break it, don't call it before it does. The fact that the dollar is so fucking strong and shit like the Turkish lira and everything's just melting to the floor, and European currency melting to the floor. When the world is de-risking and everything kind of basically reverses flow back to where it came from, that's what you kind of watch in a de-risking event. Everywhere that money left the United States to go invest in riskier places goes the opposite direction, and it's like money flowing out of the pool. Risk assets fall when you see something like this. Strong dollar, weak everybody else equals our assets repricing in terms of a stronger dollar, which is a headwind, and in some cases just flat out dropping asset prices. So the DXY breakout after a 7-year shockwave is probably the most major thing that's not getting the headlines it should. It should be front and center on CNBC, and they're not talking about that. That thing's been in the same place since 2015, since Obama. And if it's anything like the last wave, it was fucking insane when it ran. And for them to not talk about it right now, that's probably one of your bigger risks. What you're looking at in TNX, the yields on bonds, TLT on these large resolutions, and what the Fed's saying they have to do, and what the CPI is telling you they're going to be forced to do, and what the food situation is going to put us into a position to deal with is really a crazy load of fundamental shit to fucking keep track of as we go into the fucking harvest season and winter season. Gas pipelines in Europe, all that stuff. Like, there is exceedingly large amounts of risk still in the system right now. You can't fucking ignore. And if, you know, any other shoe drops, fucking shit takes a fucking, you know, dive off a cliff. So, you know, are we in a good zone to bounce? Yeah. The whole point of that, be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Not trying to terrify anybody, but yeah, you know, don't catch a bias that's got to do anything. The minute you believe that shit's when you're in danger. So, stay safe, motherfuckers. Thanks for coming out for Chill Vibes on Winter After Dark. Catch y'all on the flip.
Later.
That was fun.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winternomics. Welcome.